You're an idiot. Santa is watching you. I don't care. Christmas is ruined for me. Why? It just is. Good night. Okay. Good night, Dad. What the fuck? This video brought to you by my YouTube members and patrons. Thank you guys. How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another subreddit video. Today we are going to be returning to r/insaneparents. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's parents who are, quite frankly, insane and have nothing better to do with their lives than be insane. Yeah. Very quickly before we begin, I just wanted to mention that YouTube members and patrons, you guys get an extra video every single week for as low as £1 a month. That equates to about 25p per video. So if that is something that interests you, please do consider joining, as it really helps support the channel. Other than that, let's get straight into the subreddit, shall we? PSA, there is a public Facebook group where estranged parents are sharing stolen photos of their grandkids. Grandparents who can't see their grandkids. If you have kids and their grandparent is estranged, please check this group to make sure they're not on there. Some of the photos also have the children's names, ages, and other personal info attached. That is messed up and insane. Not only because if you've been estranged as a grandparent, it's probably for a reason, and if they don't want you to have pictures of your grandkids, it's probably for a reason, but sharing info about your grandkids just to anyone who wants it, to anyone who can access this group on the internet, which, by the way, it's a public group, so if you post anything on this group, any stranger can access it. That is like internet safety 101. Literally the first thing any child was taught growing up about the internet is don't trust strangers. And this is a group entirely of strangers sharing info about children. That's fucked up. And perfectly continuing on from that, someone else actually posted a post from that subreddit. Subreddit? Facebook page. Yes. My monster-in-law chose to breastfeed to spite me. She knew that my grandkids would be closer to her than me if she did. It makes me so mad just thinking about it. Is there something wrong with you up top? This cannot be real. No, but there is with you. So, to anybody that didn't quite understand, by monster-in-law, she means her daughter-in-law. I know monster-in-law is generally used to refer to mother-in-law, hence the alliteration, but that's not how she's using it. So basically, she's not allowed to see her grandkids, right? She has done things that have meant that her child has said, no, you're not allowed to see my grandkids. And she is claiming that to spite her, her daughter-in-law, aka the mother of that child, is breastfeeding that child. And she thinks that's to spite her. She thinks that the mother of that child is only breastfeeding that child so the child would be closer to her than to the child's estranged grandmother. As if the estranged grandmother would normally be the one breastfeeding the child. Just none of this makes sense. It's all insane. A mother breastfeeding her child, completely normal thing to do. Never about the grandparent, never about making the child closer to the mother than the grandparent. It's just a thing that parents do. Breastfeeding, pretty normal, right? A grandparent getting angry about a mother breastfeeding her child and then wondering, why would my kid not want me to see my grandkid? I don't understand. There's actually something wrong with this woman. Like, there has to actually be something wrong with this woman. They wanted to do back surgery on me for a herniated disc, and I decided to try castor oil packs and frankincense essential oils, and thankfully, 1 week before surgery was scheduled, I was able to walk again. The doctor was in shock to see me walking at the pre-op appointment. I have bursitis in both hips, and when they act up, use these things. Give it some time to work. I'm pureblood too, unless I got it from shedding or from the swab up my nostrils at hospital when I had a severe case of COVID. Oh, God. Being proud of being pureblood. I'm not vaccinated against COVID unless they gave me the vaccine with a nasal swab when I had a severe case of COVID. She was hospitalized for COVID, and she's like, but at least I didn't have that vaccine. These people are just actually stupid. Like, we know that, right? We know that. And I often try and come up with a more interesting or complex or just an argument that revolves around anything other than like, this is actually just stupid. But being like, no, I won't get vaccinated for COVID. I would rather have a severe case of COVID that hospitalizes me. There's nothing more to that than that just being stupid. There simply isn't. I saw another post recently, by the way, I'll see if I can find it, that claimed that every single person that has been vaccinated would be dead by New Year. Either the media cover-up by Big Pharma is so impressive that even I'm not aware that I'm dead, or people aren't dying from the COVID vaccine, and no amount of moving the goalposts to it will definitely happen this year, guys, is going to change that. It's the same vibe as those people that are like, no guys, the rapture is definitely happening, it's just happening next month. God's just postponing the rapture, guys. Like, I had a guy in my rapture video commenting that. He ended up deleting his whole comment thread when he was wrong like 6 times, but he still posts videos about it that is definitely happening. He hasn't given up. So this one was posted to a different Facebook page. I keep saying subreddit. A different Facebook page called Grandparents Being Punished and I'm assuming can't see their grandkids. Again, woe is me. My child has said that I can't see my grandkids. It's definitely nothing to do with me and I shouldn't attempt any introspection or try and improve. No, it's my child that is the problem, stopping me from seeing my grandchild. I am honestly so heartbroken and don't even know what I did wrong. I told my son's new wife that her child from a prior marriage is welcome to come to Christmas, but I would not be providing gifts for him. I don't feel that is unreasonable. He is not my grandchild. If they want him to have something to open, they can bring a gift for him themselves. That's just being fair. It's not being fair, first of all. It's not. Now they have decided to skip Christmas entirely and blocked me on everything. I won't even be able to see my blood grandbaby on her first Christmas, which was very important to me. They won't even let me bring her gifts open. I feel like I am being punished for having boundaries. When did boundaries become such a bad thing? Family doesn't mean what it used to anymore, and it's heartbreaking. I raised my children better than this. I tried to be respectful, but somehow I'm the villain. I don't understand this new generation at all. Honor thy father and mother, Exodus 20:12. I will be praying on this and leaving it in God's hands. What would you do? So before I even move on to the comments, multiple things. That's just being fair. What? Deliberately leaving a child out of a Christmas celebration is just being fair. No, it's not. Second of all, from that point onwards, she regularly says that it was important to her to see her grandchild. It was important to her to have that Christmas. She feels like she's being punished for having boundaries and that she raised her children better than this. Anybody who says that clearly did not. The fact that her children are going, no, we're setting boundaries because you're being an asshole. You did raise your children well. You did. You very much did. But it just bothers me anytime anyone says, I raised my children better than this, because if your children are acting in a certain way and you're claiming that, you raised your child. Your child's actions are a result of how you've raised them. So it's not like I raised my child better than this because the way your child is exactly how you raised them. The fact that she even ended it with, I tried to be respectful, but somehow I'm the villain. How were you trying to be respectful? You just told your daughter-in-law, the child that they are looking after, the child that her son-in-law has adopted, that she will not be treating them the same at Christmas. She will not be getting them a gift and she will not be treating them like a grandchild. And she's like, I just tried to be respectful. F*** off, did you? Anyway, there's more in the comments. I am a grandmother and I would never do that. That is so wrong. That is your grandchild now. You need to apologize and admit your thought process was not correct. He is 12. I cannot afford to give gifts to every child that exists. It's not every child, it's one child who is in your family. This isn't every child, this is one child. That does not matter. He is your son's child now. You are absolutely 100 wrong. I really hope this is a prank post. That child is your grandchild now. Everyone has corners they can cut if needed. You have to want to do it. It's not every child you're buying for. It's one child, and Christmas is for children. So I don't blame them for being offended by your comment about your new little grandchild, and that's your granddaughter's brother. How do you explain to her that you don't buy her brother a gift for Christmas? I will explain he was born out of wedlock, and you don't get prizes for stupid mistakes. This generation needs a wake-up call. Wow. Just wow. You quote scripture but call a child a stupid mistake? Are you serious? So you think a child doesn't deserve anything because they were born out of wedlock? very Christ-like. Also, how is it in any way, in any single minuscule factor, the child's fault that they were born out of wedlock? How are you gonna punish a child for something that its parent has done, right? Punishing a child for being born out of wedlock makes no sense. That child had no control over that. That child wasn't around to go, actually, mum, maybe you should wait before having me. That does, because he wasn't born yet. This, oh my God, it's so stupid. Oh, but you know what? That child's probably gonna have a fucking way happier childhood without this woman in their life. I'll say that much. I'm sure I'm blocked, which is such old news, but I have to tell you, or at least try to tell you, that Shepard came to me in a dream last night again. It was a premonition. You are making a very, very, very big mistake by not reuniting this family, and I am warning you that I have seen the consequence, and you need to know, from me now, that you are making a very big mistake. Your son could teleport and remote view, by the way. And if you don't believe that's a thing, you might be surprised to know that all major world governments have people who use this skill. It's easily findable, and Shepard has this gift. You do not need to cultivate it in him. He is already proficient. Oh God, I love that that was just a by the way. That was just a side note. That was just a, oh, by the way, your son can teleport and remote view. Just casually a thing that all the governments can do. All the governments have people that can do this. That's just a thing. It's normal. You don't even need to cultivate this gift. Your son's already pretty good at it. Like, as if this wouldn't be so provable. Like, I don't know, asking her son, hey, is this a skill you have? No, my mom is just crazy. Yeah, that's what I thought. But she had a premonition, guys, so it must be true. She saw it in a dream. Everyone knows that dreams are like actual insights into the future and not just your brain making up random bollocks about things that you have thought about and done that day. Call Granny and tell her good night, please. Hello? 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 Hello times like 50. I'm not reading all of these. It's just that's too many. Yeah, we are definitely going to have a talk about this. You're probably gonna lose phone for a while due to this. Oh my God. Yeah, we are definitely going to have a talk about this. You probably gonna lose phone for a while due to this. You know you are supposed to keep your phone on you all times case of emergencies. Fuck me. Someone take the phone away from this woman until she can fucking read. I also don't care about the excuse either or apology. You have been told so many times about this crap. I'm sorry, I was in the pool. We were night swimming. I'm sorry. We all decided that we'd get in the pool and we just got out and I just now saw your messages. We were listening to music and I couldn't hear my phone, so I'm sorry. Hello? So they elaborated on this a bit. I recently found out about this subreddit and I wanted to share one of my experiences. I, 17 female, was at a large group sleepover at one of my friends' houses back in July this year. When my aunt, the person texting me, texted me the first time, I was in the pool with all of my friends, enjoying a small night swim. When I got out, just before 1 in the morning, I saw these messages. My aunt, instead of messaging me back or calling me, proceeded to lock my phone down and out it on downtime. She only turned it off the next morning for about an hour for me to inform her as to when I'd be getting home and by what means. When I got home, she got mad at me for said reasons in the messages. She was also angry with me for not answering her calls while my phone was on downtime, which I could not do. She hadn't called me one time while I was in the pool. I have told my aunt many times that if she wants to reach me quickly, call instead of texting me. I will always hear my ringtone before my notification sound. She has always sent the 20 or 30 hello messages before calling me and berating me for not answering them. Even if she could see that I was typing as she sent more and more hello messages. If I don't answer within 30 seconds, she starts tweaking out. Wow, that's a person who has no life, simply put. In fact, someone put this better than I could ever put it. I've never seen an adult woman need a life more. Texting your niece hello 8,000 times has got to be a brand new way to say I've got nothing else going on. How sad. So sorry, OP. You were probably nuts with anxiety after reading that last text. Yeah, and there's layers to this. First of all, having the control to shut down someone else's phone, never ever. It's an invasion of so many things, privacy and everything. But also, she talks about you need to have your phone with you at all times in case of emergencies, but then shuts her phone down so that if there was an emergency, there is nothing she could do about about it. Yeah, smart, right? So smart. Like, these people are fucking idiots. People like this, right? They're like, you have to have your phone and instantly reply to me the second I text you. I'm never going to call you, despite the fact that that would be the quickest way to get a hold of you. Never gonna do that. No. I'm gonna text you a million times until you respond and get angry at you for not being there the second that I start messaging you. Who cares if you're in somewhere with low cell service, driving through a tunnel, doing literally anything where you don't have immediate access to your phone? No, if you don't immediately answer to me, I'm going to punish you and I'm going to shut down access to your phone. I'm then going to try and call you and message you with your phone shut down and then blame you for not being able to answer despite the fact I shut your phone down. This, put plain and simply, is what I would describe as moronic behavior. I'm really sorry, OP, that this is something you go through. I'm really sorry that your aunt is plain and simple a moron. An overbearing, over-controlling moron.
I lost my mom and your dad within months of each other, and you end the year telling me I can never babysit my only grandchild? Why? Why so mean? What was the purpose of that?
You can't babysit her unless you are sober. When I watch my child at home, I am sober. People taking care of babies are sober. I can't currently trust you to be sober with her. That's not mean, it's reality.
You don't even know what real is. You are crazy. I will be removing your phone from my Verizon act. I'll stop payment on that $4,000 check. You don't deserve it. And I'll change my will. Yes, that's right. It was all left to me. I'll leave everything to my family. You don't need it. They do.
Lol, how did I know the money was coming next? I told Dad if he left everything to you, I'd never see any of it. I don't care. Keep all of it. You abused me as a parent, and that's why our relationship is busted as adults. Plain and simple. Nothing can fix it.
I agree.
Well, at least she accepts that part. So, OP, first and foremost, there was a comment about this. I don't think I saved it, though. But basically, they were like, when I was in this situation, when my mum first told me that she was writing me out of the will, I was 19. When she got old, she asked me to look after her. And I said, use the money that you're not giving me in your will to buy care. And I think that's just the perfect response to anything like that. Because, you know, as soon as this person is old enough that they need care and need looking after, they're gonna turn straight to OP and be like, oh, why won't you look after me? You're so selfish, as if they haven't been abusive and horrible. But things that they refuse to acknowledge about their own behavior and things that they refuse to even accept, right? So first of all, they lost their mum and OP's dad, or their husband, within months of each other. OP also lost those people. OP has also lost their grandmother and their dad, right? That's pretty fucking rough. So it's not an excuse for behavior. But the fact that she doesn't even say, I will try and get sober, or I'll try and not drink alcohol, or I'll do better. She doesn't at any point acknowledge that she as a human being could not be drunk, right? Instead, she says, why are you punishing me? Why are you not letting me see my grandchild? How dare you not let me see my grandchild? Not even a single ounce of, I could not drink alcohol around her. I'll be sober around her. I will make that attempt. No, she doesn't even try and accept a single ounce of accountability. She blames it on dead family members and then says that she's being punished. You know what? You are being punished. You absolutely are. Plain and simple. If you refuse to take any accountability, you refuse to get sober, to even try and get sober, or even pretend that you're gonna try and get sober so that you can look after your grandchild. If you refuse even that basic ounce of respect and care for a child, yeah, you're being punished. You're not allowed to see that child as punishment for that because you can't grow the fuck up. Maybe try that. Maybe try growing the fuck up. And the final post. Are you home?
No.
I don't feel like coming back if I'm joking around with Dad, and his response was to say he doesn't care and he'll go fishing tomorrow instead.
Bring my baby home. December 19, I am picking up the baby and we will bring him back. He shouldn't have to suffer and be sad because you don't want to come to us. Don't hurt my baby feelings. He's just a baby.
That's not even for his break. All I wanted was Dad to apologize and we would have been there. I'm not taking any more disrespect, especially when Dad is being really hurtful.
It's for his break. I took a picture of the baby schedule. You shouldn't joke around with him when you know his temper. You're just hurting the baby in the end. We all miss him and you're not being fair just because you're fighting with your dad. Don't hit the baby. If you don't want all of us to be around, just say so. But in the end, you're only hurting the baby.
We won't be visiting until both of you apologize to me sincerely, and when mum gives the $200 back for this. He is my child, and I'm doing what is best for him. If you continue to be childish and rude, then we will have to cut back on contact. He is not your baby, he is ours, and I am his mother. You will not be taking him from me without my approval.
Sorry, like I said, you're only hurting my baby. We continue to pray for you guys. Be mother to my baby and don't rely on your boyfriend to do everything for him.
So many things to break down here. So many things that bother me about this in so many areas. First of all, one of the things that she said that has pissed me off more than anything else is you shouldn't joke around with him when you know his temper. That's a him problem. If he has a temper that causes him to lash out at people and to cause rifts in the family, that's a him problem, and that's something that he should work on. It should not be everyone else's responsibility to tiptoe around his anger problems. If he has a temper, he should work on that, or not be surprised when people go, actually, I don't want you around my child. Second of all, the child has a schedule where he's going to school and like, you know, being off school. Apparently, OP said that he is 4 years old. So referring to him as a baby is weird. He's 4 years old. He's a whole ass child. Like, he's not a baby, but not just referring to him as a baby. No. She's actually fully referring to him as her baby. This grandmother is referring to her grandchild as her baby, not as his name. She's not even calling him a child. She's calling him my baby. He's not your baby. He's your grandchild. He's also not a baby anymore. I think any 4-year-old would be fucking weirded out, not only by someone repeatedly calling them a baby, especially because, you know, kids like to feel more grown up than they might be, but at 4 years old, you're not a baby, and someone calling you that would be annoying and insulting. But to be constantly referring to him as her baby, like if I was a 4-year-old child and my grandmother, who my mum doesn't want me to see, was constantly calling me her baby, I'd be weirded the fuck out. I wouldn't want to meet that grandmother. It's delusional. She's completely delusional. She refuses to accept any accountability. She refuses her husband, the grandfather of this child, to accept any accountability for his anger and for lashing out and being hurtful and rude. There's zero accountability. There's full entitlement, and there's weird creepiness. All in all, I just hate everything about this. I hate every single thing. OP, you're better off not letting them around your child. I'm sure you're not doing that anyway, but you for sure are better off not letting these people around your child. But that is where I'm going to end the video. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed. If you would like to support me in making more content like this, then I have a Patreon in the description down below, or equally you can click on that join button on the channel to support me. It helps a lot more than you might realize, but by no means should you feel like you have to. I'm going to keep making content regardless. But a huge, massive special thank you to all of the wonderful YouTube members and patrons that do support me. All of your names are up on screen right now. It genuinely helps so much, and it genuinely means so much. So thank you to everybody that does. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, everybody. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Peace out.